more. I got like only 5 hours of sleep compared 5.5, but it's okay. It is okay. I'll be okay. Dies. Oh no, Chi-Man died. But anyway, hi everyone. I am Chi 15, aka Mr. C. For those of you who know about my channel, English from Mr. C. English with Mr. C on YouTube. And today, this is just going to be a general question and answer session. So it doesn't have to be about grammar or the English language specifically. It can be about really anything, as long as it's not an inappropriate question. Then fine. Is it bad that I'm playing MC while in class? No. No, you can, like, I've listened to lectures or classes while playing games or doing other things. That's fine. Just don't troll. Basically. Can you say your YouTube name again, please? Yeah, it's English with Mr. C. Did I ping the whole server? I'm pretty sure I did. Well, not the whole server, but like anyone with the English classes role. Pretty sure I did, but let me check really fast. Oh my god, my computer is so slow. Oh yeah, I did ping the... Okay, good. Okay. Honestly, it's not even just a lack of sleep. There's also... It's that makes me sound like not too excited today. There's also something else, but that's beside the point. Oh, thank you, Biddy. Yes. Yeah, that's my name. That's correct. It's XY. What are my views about getting attached to people on Discord? I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, I have plenty of Discord friends, and I've actually collaborated with them on my gaming channel. Well, some of them. With others, they just watch and moderate. So really, I don't see anything wrong with it. But you can't meet them in real life. You know, you can. Well, it depends. It depends. It depends. Some people you do meet, but some you just can't. You can meet, but some you just can. You can't. Some you can, some you can't. That's what. Oh, see you later, haha. Thank you for coming. Oh, the topic is about. The topic, so it's really just about. You can ask really any question about. You can really ask any question. Like, it could be about grammar or about the English language, or about um, or really about me, or about where I live, or really it does not matter. But anyway, let me. How old am I? 27. I turned 27 last month. I'll get to the hands in a moment. Let me just ask a few more questions in the chat. Answer a few more questions in the chat. Sorry. What do you think about the new GTA Definitive Edition? Well, your reaction at the end of that sentence is basically mine. I mean, after the hot mess that was GTA San Andreas Remastered, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not touching this. Sorry. Like I do have the three game, like the GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas on my PS4, but that's like just the original versions that were ported over. I don't have any remastered versions. I've never even played San Andreas, honestly. I have it. I just haven't gone around to playing it. I did play a bit of Vice City when I was a kid, though. Three I've never touched. I'm just gonna go to my. I'm just gonna use my phone to keep up with the chat because my computer is just being really slow. The only things I have open are OBS Studio and Discord and Google Chrome, and that's it. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway. It's that Google Chrome. Let me just close out of it. It might not matter much. I'll just close out of it. Okay, let me just open up the classes chat on my phone because it'll be a lot easier keeping up with the chat that way. Where is it? Why is it all the way down there? Okay. Anyway, how to impress girls on Discord. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. Wait, you're my age? Yes, I am. Because I turned 27 on October 2nd. You sound like you are 15. You're not wrong. Like, no jokes. I've been misgendered many times on the phone or in the drive-thru. So, yeah, I can understand that. What books will make my English better? That I can't answer because, like, oh shoot, crap, no, I closed out of it. Okay, there we go. I can't really think of any books off the top of my head that could help you with English. Unfortunately, honestly, most grammar books I don't really care about. I feel like the best way to learn grammar is to just read a lot. Although there are plenty of good online plenty of good websites. Um, but it's just like there are plenty that are bad, and I don't even care about grammar books anymore. I think like a lot of them are just a waste of time. So I can't really think of any books. Oh, so many questions. Let me see if I can try to keep up. How to pronounce can't and can. Well, one has a T sound at the end and one doesn't. So one is can and one is can't. Although you might not hear the T clearly. Some people don't pronounce it that hard, but it's more of just a stop or whatever it's called. I'm not really an expert with pronunciation, but sometimes people pronounce can't like can't, like can't, like just a soft T or whatever. I'm not sure what you mean by chunk practice. What do you do for a living? Are you an English teacher outside the server? No. I'm actually a cashier at a grocery store. I'm a cashier at a grocery store, so that's what I do for a living. I won't say exactly which grocery store chain I work for, but I do work for a grocery store. And I've been doing it for 7 years. But I'm not a teacher in real life. I was a tutor once. Well, a few times, but really, I've never been an actual teacher. I've been told that I could be really good at it, but I've just never bothered trying to become one. Up until now, actually, I'm trying to be a math teacher. Poggers. Do you think fluency of vocab grammatical structure is more important than IELTS speaking? I honestly don't even know because I've never even looked at an IELTS test, so I have no idea how to answer that. Really, any English test I don't know anything about. Any official one, I mean. Misgendered, I can relate. See, we're twins. You buy Robux? I did for my cousins a few times, but that was it. I don't play. I have an account, but I don't play on it. Like I really made one just so I could play with my cousins. But when they're not around, I don't play it. But the Underground War game is pretty fun, though. I just love slicing people up or shooting them. But of course, it's not really gory. I mean, it's Roblox. We're talking about everything's made of blocks. But anyway. I'll get to the hands in a moment. Let me just answer a few more questions. Is watching English movies better than reading English novels for improving grammar or accent? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't. I think the best. I don't really think so because see the thing about movies is that they tend to be rather lax when it comes to grammar compared to written language, which tends to be more conservative about grammar. So if you want to improve your grammar, the best thing to do, well, I mean, doing a lot of listening helps with improving grammar, but doing a lot of reading helps too. So I wouldn't say watching movies is better than just reading. I'm not going to say it's worse, but I don't think it's better. Yeah, I probably should go and drink some water. I'll be right back, actually. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I really should have gotten more sleep. So I'm sorry if I don't sound so excited today. Okay, let me ask this question by John K. and then I'll move to the hands. I keep saying I'll ask instead of answer. I mean, I'll answer the question. Okay, please explain the rule of using if plus will. The if plus will construction, when we need to use will after if, and when we need to drop will after if. Honestly, like, I think we use will after if it's a matter, if whatever the topic is, like whatever the topic is a matter of volition, like choice or willingness to do something. So for example, if you say something like, if you won't tell her the truth, then I will, in that case we use will. So because in that case someone is choosing not to do something. So when it comes to expressing choice or willingness, then we would use will after if. But otherwise, no, don't do it. Same goes for would, actually. It works with would as well. So you could say something like, if you would just let me help you, you wouldn't be struggling. In that case, it would be fine to use would after if, but otherwise, no. And you can also use would after if you want to express politeness. So you could say, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to go over the report with you. Then that would be fine. But otherwise, don't use will or would after if. Just don't. Do you like working in the grocery store? No. I'm just going to be honest, no. But, I mean, basically, it's just a boring job. You must have a lot of patience to deal with customers. Don't I know it? Don't I know it? Because a lot of people fall into 3 categories. They're mean, they're stupid, or they're a combination of the 2. And of course, there's also the matter of impatience. But anyway, let me go ahead and... yeah, everything's okay, don't worry. Better preach, G-Man. Thank you. And don't worry, I will, because it's like... It's just like, I'm normally a very patient person, but there are times where even my patience has been tested. And I'm just like, y'all are so stupid. And yeah, especially around the holidays, and I'm not too fond about Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's gonna be so bad. God. I mean, I'm used to it, but there are just times where I just wish I could just I wish I could just use a remote to mute every annoying customer out there. But yeah, that's retail for you. Try not to work in retail if you can avoid it. But someone asked a question earlier about which dialect is easier to understand, American English or British English. Honestly, I don't really know. It might be, I think overall American English is a bit easier to understand because of several things. I mean, British English does have advantages itself, but also has disadvantages. One thing that Americans do, well, actually what they don't do, I should say, is that, see, with British speakers, whenever you have like a word that ends in a vowel and then the next word starts with a vowel, they tend to put like a sort of R sound in between them, those 2 words. So instead of saying something like Peppa and George, they'll say something like Pepper and George. And then people will be like, wait, who's Pepper? What? No, but they mean Peppa. This is called, I believe it's called the Intervocalic R. Like, they just put that R sound in there. Or they'll say something like, the idea is to, instead of the idea is to. And blah, 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 whatever. So, they do tend to do that. And of course, they also, if there's just an R sound at the end of the word, they tend not to, they pronounce it differently. Their accent is called non-rhotic for this reason. So, instead of saying something like father, they'll say father, father, father. My father. Oh yeah, instead of saying water, they'll say water. You have some water. And so on and so forth. So that can make their accent harder to understand. But one thing that makes their accent easier to understand is that they don't flap their T's uh, as we Americans do. They don't do that. They don't say trying to think of an example. They don't say bottle. They say bottle. Bottle. So that can make their that can make their accent easier to understand in a way, because they actually um, pronouncing the T as one would expect to pronounce it. Uh, expect it to be pronounced. I mean, ba of wa, right? It's like there aren't even any consonants for the most part. It's just a bunch of vowels. Ba of wa. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Isn't it? Right? Yeah, some of them do say isn't it. Isn't it? It's nice outside, isn't it? Isn't it? Or they'll even add that. Like some of them will even add that at the end of questions where it's not really grammatically, uh, where it's not grammatically logical to do so. So it's it's just funny, um, but yeah, the Cockney accent though. Now that one is particularly special because, like, compared to just a typical accent, you have the Cockney accent, which where like they pronounce a number of sounds differently, and it's just like, what are they saying? It's like what is that? But I'm just joking because like because like all accents are different. There's no single right way to speak. I'm suing for defamation. Hey man, I'm just speaking the truth. No, but I actually like the British accent. I think it sounds cool. I honestly kind of wish I had one because it just sounds so refined and elegant and shit. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, but it does sound pretty cool. Okay, let me go to these hands. I need to catch some hands. I know you guys have been waiting. It's like, come on, call me. Oh shit, they're gone. Well, oops. Wow. Okay. Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. I haven't paid attention to Pokemon since Diamond and Pearl, honestly. Like at that point, like I was just bored of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm bored of this. I'm gonna watch something else. And it doesn't help that most of the female companions are either dumb or incompetent. So, so it's like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not watching this anymore. Except Misty. Misty is best girl. Misty is queen. There are some hands though. Are there? Oh, okay. Now there weren't any before, but now there is one. John K. John K. You may come up to the stage. Yeah, Serena's all right. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Well, basically, I would like to answer, to ask my question again. I wasn't specific when I wrote it. So, My question is, I really would like to comprehend this if plus will construction, but I was not talking about expressions like, yeah, if you will, and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about future tense. I've been said like, uh, you're saying if I will go to somewhere. It is wrong. I've been told like, dude, you should drop will if you're using if before that when you're talking about future. That is my question basically, not about expression. Yeah, it was my bad. Uh,
That's okay.
uh, yeah, I realize how we use these expressions like if you would like to go blah 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 there or something like that. But if I will go there, it would be okay. Well, it's just an example. Could you please explain me that?
I don't think that's ever grammatical. I can't think of a case where you could actually use will like that. Like whenever we use the future tense like that, it would be in not in the if clause, but in the clause after it. So I can't think of a case where you would use will like that.
So, what is the separation then between present tense and future tense? Like, if I do my homework, it'll be okay. But how a person whom I talk to supposed to understand whether I'm talking about if I do my homework in general or today? But I would like to tell like if I will do my homework, I don't know, tomorrow, I will go to a movie theater.
Oh, for that you just rely on the context. The context makes it pretty obvious what time frame you're referencing. So, if you say if I go to the movies, that could mean do you like regularly go to the movies, or are you talking about one time in the future where you're going to go to the movies? Like, the context will make that pretty obvious. So if you have enough context, you don't need to worry about causing any misunderstandings.
So basically, we can just forget about will in future tense when we're talking about future. If we have if before, we just can drop it and we won't make a mistake that way. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, thanks.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
I, that was my question. Thank you.
Okay. Hmm.
Oh, I thought someone else would like to participate and to talk, to have a moment to talk with you. So,
Okay. Okay. If you're okay, well, if you don't have any more questions, do you know how to move back to the audience?
oh, yeah, yeah, uh, sure. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay. Well, the X is actually a really good question because, like, if you think about it, using the future tense would make sense, but we just don't. In Spanish, you just use the simple present uh, indicative. So we just don't. Although the weird thing is that in Portuguese there's something. Well, in Spanish has this too, but anyway, in Portuguese there's something called the future subjunctive. And in cases where you say something like, "If I go to the movies later," and stuff like with sentences like that, you would use the future subjunctive there. But in English, well, we don't really have a future subjunctive, so we don't do that. And Spanish has one, but that the future subjunctive has fallen out of use for like it fell out of use a long time ago, so people don't really talk like that anymore. So so both languages just use the straight up they just straight up use the present tense, and that's it. So in Portuguese, like using the future subjunctive would In that case, you use the future. The future subjunctive, but the future nonetheless. But in English and Spanish, no, you just use the simple present. Why? I don't know. Language does not make any sense. That's the stupid thing. A lot of things about your native language or your target language don't make any sense. You just have to accept it. If I speak with broken grammar, can natives still understand what I'm saying? Potentially, yes, but it would be harder to understand you, which is why it's important for you to try to speak as clearly as possible, in terms of grammar, I mean. Of course, working on your pronunciation helps too, because sloppy pronunciation, well, not necessarily sloppy, just bad, that can make it harder for people to understand you too. But let me go back to the chat. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Magikarp. No, I'm kidding. I honestly don't know. I don't think I even have one. I honestly don't know. I think I did have one at one point, but I can't remember what it was. I'd say Pikachu, but Pikachu has gotten way too much attention, so no. I like this teacher. Oh, thank you. No, he's poggers. So pog. That dress is so pog. I hope no one ever talks like that. What is the difference between fortuitous and serendipitous? Well, one means coincidental, I think. I cannot remember. I'd have to look it up. And I think the other one means intimidating. Let me look it up, because I honestly don't want to mislead people. So, unless someone wants to answer it in the chat, that's fine too. But I don't have Merriam-Webster on this anymore. Crap. Pikachu. I know Pikachu's the main Pokemon, but I'm like, fam, you don't I'm just tired of seeing him, basically, or her, or whatever. Technically, Pikachu can be either, but whatever. I'm just tired of seeing Pikachu everywhere, honestly. But let me look up. Yeah, Ash's Pikachu is male. That's correct. Oh, okay. So fortuitous means something that's unexpected. Oh, so I was wrong. Okay, so serendipitous means something that occurred or was discovered by chance in a happy or beneficial way. So they're similar, but they're not the same. Okay. How can I pronounce the th and the sounds? That you'll just have to practice. There's really no way around it. You just have to keep practicing it until you get it. Of course, you'll have to do a lot of listening as well. Listening will definitely help with speaking. The more you listen, the more you will understand how natives actually pronounce certain sounds, and the better you'll be at, mimicking those sounds. So, just keep practicing it. What is the subject? The subject is... There really isn't one. You just ask any question. Really any. It does not matter what that question is. Who was your favorite English teacher on YouTube? Besides you. I don't know. Honestly. I guess English with Lucy's a good one. I wouldn't call her my favorite though, because I don't really have a favorite. I've looked at some of them, but one that comes to mind is English with Lucy. So she's pretty good. And she also knows Spanish, apparently. And there was this other one. There was this other guy who worked with her once. I can't remember what his name was. Dang it. He's also British, but I cannot remember what his name was. But yeah, he's also pretty good. He also knows Spanish. Is it efficient to listen to news for practicing? I would say yes, because it's good to listen to like news and stuff like that, because you tend to hear standardized language pronounced very well, very clearly. So if you start with that and then gradually make your way to specific dialects, then that could really help. Because I could, like, if I watch Spanish news, I could understand like 80% of it just fine. I would be able to understand more at this point, but, I've been taking breaks on and off with Spanish, so I'm rather rusty, but, yeah. Who is that Chi-Man ruler guy? Lots of people told me he's a good teacher. Well, since you complimented my greatness. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm just one of the teachers here on the English server. One of the ones that teaches classes. Not all of them teach classes. Some just answer questions, but I'm one of the ones that teaches actual classes. 'Cause I'm the best. I'm gonna drink more water. I'm gonna drink a bottle of water. I have drunk my bottle of water. Chi-Man, how long have you been teaching? I've been teaching for 37,000 years. No, I've been on this server for like maybe 1.5 years. I don't even remember when I joined or when I even became a teacher. I know it's been at least a year. So where does my nickname come from? That's actually a really good question, and I get that quite a bit. So, the first 3 letters of my username are actually the first 3 letters of my middle name. The rest is just made up. Like, so Chi, that's actually part of my middle name, but the man ruler 15 part, that's just completely made up. I don't even know why I chose 15 in particular. Like, when I came up with that username, I was actually 14, so I don't know why I came up with 15. I don't know. It was just a number that I liked. I don't know. For some reason, I just seem to like that number. At least we know he's better than New Battlefield 2042. I've heard about that. Oh dear. Or the new Cyberpunk game. Or Sonic Colors Ultimate. Or basically any game that really should have had more thought and effort and time put into it. But what can you do? Do you have any advice for people who are preparing for the university entrance exam test in English? So, how should I improve my grammar? Do a bunch of reading, although it won't hurt to do some grammar practice, some grammar exercises. You can easily find some good ones online. I can't think of any websites because I don't really, spend much time on those. But there are some good ones out there. So, you could also like work on grammar workbooks that they sell at stores that are I think that are specifically designed to help you with tests. So you could do that too. But honestly, if you just do a lot of reading, that will help as well. I think that's the best thing you can do. Paco Bit Plus. Paco Bit Plus. 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 I don't know. I would just say Paco Bit Plus. That's how I would pronounce your nickname. Do you think grammar is really important? Nope. Like, just no. Well, it depends. I should say it depends. Like, I don't want it to be like a. I don't want to give a complete. I don't want to give an answer like that. It depends on what you mean by grammar. If you mean speaking, if you mean like speaking in a way that people can understand you with little misunderstanding, then yeah. But if you're talking about like actual like the technical rules of grammar, you know like knowing when to use the past perfect or understanding the difference between plural and common and proper nouns. No, I don't really think that it's that important because you don't really need to know about that stuff to be able to speak a language. You just don't. You don't need to know that to speak a language. I don't need to know what the past perfect progressive subjunctive is in order to say a sentence such as, if you had been working on this assignment, you would have been done by now. I don't need to know that. I just know the tense and I use it without thinking. So it depends. Now, for writing, grammar can help. It can help. But for speaking, it can help too, but it's just not as important. With writing, it's more important, but with speaking, grammar is just not as important. But in any case, you could really learn grammar by just doing a lot of listening and reading, because listening helps with speaking and reading helps with writing. So the more you read, the more you will, the better you will write, and the more you listen, the better you will speak. So really, it's just osmosis that's important. Like, just expose yourself to the language, and you'll be fine. Now, I'm not going to say that grammar is bad to learn, or that and I don't think it's right to say that grammar is just completely unimportant, but I will say this. Grammar may be beneficial, but it's not necessary. So that's what I think. It can be beneficial, but it's not necessary to speak the language. Speak any language, I should say. Now to write it, yeah, grammar will matter. Grammar will matter quite. Oh, it will matter a lot more, because knowing some basic punctuation rules will help you use punctuation marks correctly. But really, I think that the importance of grammar is just overstated. Like, you can acquire the language just fine without it. Any language, I mean. How much Spanish do you know? I can comprehend things at a B2 level. So I can understand most intermediate content and even some advanced content. Like, I've been able to keep up with natives in some conversations. Not all of them. Sometimes they have funny accents that I can't understand. But there are times where I've been able to understand native-like speech. Yeah, exactly. Just do what the natives do. Yes, exactly. That's basically the advice I'd give everyone here in the class. Listen and repeat. That's all you need to do. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. That's how children learn. They listen and they repeat. Listen and repeat. If books aren't working for you with regard to improving your English grammar and writing tests, then the best thing you can do is just to perhaps to practice writing and get feedback that way. That could help because there are plenty of writing classes out there that you could take if you think grammar books aren't helping. And again, you need to read a lot because reading will definitely help when it comes to writing. How do you become used to speaking or swapping between different languages? It's just something that comes with time. It might be overwhelming at first, but eventually your brain will be able to differentiate between the two languages. I'm not into grammar anymore. It's probably for the best. I mean, you are green, so it's not like you're going to need it. Teacher, what is the best way to speak fluently? Thanks. Well, for one thing, don't focus on being grammatically accurate. Focus on being understood and on being able to understand people. So a mistake that a lot of people make is that they try to focus so much on being grammatically accurate that they end up not saying anything, or they end up saying things but in very slow sentences when there really is no time to think about grammar when you are conversing with other people. So focus on don't focus on being grammatically accurate. You can worry about that later. Focus on just being able to communicate. And for those of you who have attended Alan G's classes, he says this frequently in his classes, that he focuses on communication and self-expression and not on grammatical accuracy. So if you want to speak fluently, focus less on being accurate and more on just being able to say something. And besides, you can technically be fluent and be grammatically inaccurate. There are plenty of people who are like that. But that's okay, because over time you can just be more proficient with your grammar. It doesn't have to come like right away. It will come over time. It will appear over time. You'll get better over time. Teacher, can I call you Sensei? No, I'm not Kakashi. Sorry. Or Might Guy. Or Kurenai. Thank God I'm not Kurenai. That girl was irrelevant. Holy crap. But anyway. Are there some websites to practice our pronunciation? I think so. I don't know though. I can't really think of any, but I'm sure there are some out there. Thank you, teacher. I just chose the roll because of its color. No, don't do that. But yeah, you want to pick the right role for your account. Otherwise, that will lead to misunderstandings. Because I've seen quite a number of people with the native color, and when they speak or type, I'm just like, are you sure you're native? And then they reveal that they just chose that color for whatever reason, and I'm just like, wow, okay. Yeah, quite a number of fake natives, you're right. And I'm like, dude, just go and change your color. Like, you are not a native speaker. Please, go back and change your color. Although there are a few here who do sound very much like natives. Um, but they still choose the right color because at the end of the day, they're still not native. They may sound like a native, but they're not native. Yeah, they're usually pretty obvious to spot, where they basically where they misuse things like tense, or they neglect to put in articles, or they put in articles where articles aren't needed. So it's like, okay. Or they might choose a color that shows that they are not that proficient. Like, what I mean is that they'll choose a color that's more proficient than they actually are. So they'll be green instead of blue, and I'm just like, no, go back to blue. Go back to blue. Can I put in my CV that I practice English in Discord? I would say no. I don't think that's really going to mean anything. I would not put that in the CV. I just wouldn't. Plus, not everyone's going to know what Discord is anyway, so. I think many people choose their role based on typing skills and not speaking skills. Yeah, I would say so too. Like, they can type well, but they can't speak well. Like, with me, it's the same thing with Spanish. Like, I have no problems writing, but speaking is just like, ugh. I can understand about 90% of casual English, but when it comes to speaking, I kind of can't express myself. What do you suggest to get over it? Well, you just get over it. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That's not helpful advice. But what you do is... Okay, so a lot of people think that this is an issue. It's really not. At least not in the way that you think it is, because that's actually pretty normal. It's normal to understand more than you can speak. Again, it's the same thing with me when it comes to Spanish. I can understand like 85% of it, but when it's time for me to speak, I just can't do it that well. I'm getting better, but like my speech doesn't come out as fluently as I'd like. So, but yeah. So it's really not an issue, but it is something you're going to want to overcome at some point. So again, just keep listening. The more you listen, the more you can speak, and eventually your language will just come out on its own. It's just something you have to wait for. And I know it can be frustrating because a lot of people experience what's called the intermediate plateau, which is like when you feel like you've been stuck on any intermediate for a while and you feel like you're just leveling off and not progressing. That's normal because you will get over that plateau at some point. I did. Because I remember being stuck at that plateau with regard to Spanish, but over time I just started getting better. So it's really just a matter of time. Espero que estés teniendo un buen día. Y yo a ti. Anyway. Yeah, reading, of course, it's easy to read. It's easier to read than to listen. Because you have the language there, and it's not going anywhere, and you can process it at your own pace. You can understand English conversation, but when you have to translate it, your brain explodes. What should you do? Okay, so again, that's not really an issue. Not in the way you think it is, because that's pretty normal. But again, it's something you want to get over at some point. So again, like at first you will have to translate into your native language, but over time that will disappear. You'll be able to translate quickly and without thinking. So it's okay to translate in your head. Eventually it will stop. Where's the signal word for present progressive? Since when is today a signal word for present progressive? Today is not really a signal word for any particular tense. Because, you could have the present tense, the past tense, or the future tense. You could say, today we rest. Or today I wrote an essay. Or Today I will go to the park. So, yeah, I would avoid using signal words to determine what tense you should use because it's just not that simple. Because those words could be used with really any tense. So I would forget about signal words and just focus on the context that would best represent, well, really the tense that would best represent the context you are trying to, that would best fit the context you are trying to use. I cannot speak today, I'm sorry. Oh, someone mentioned something about audiobooks earlier. I think someone asked me what I thought about audiobooks. I honestly don't care for them. I don't use them. Oh my god, my computer's about to die. Oh my god. Okay, crisis averted. I plugged in my computer. I didn't even know this. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I don't really care for audiobooks. Yeah, I agree with Jay. I don't think unless you're advanced, I would not recommend reading classics. Like older forms of literature. Just don't. Just don't. Unless you're advanced. If you're advanced, then go for it. But if you're not, then don't bother. Yeah, I would avoid trying to think so much about translating. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just focus on trying to communicate. Because again, like, your speech has to be automatic. It just has to come out on its own. So, don't overthink your speech. Just try to just come out and say it. Which is why it's important for you to learn phrases instead of just single words, because a lot of phrases have built-in grammar, so you could just use them in sentences by stringing them together, and then boom, you're done. That's like half the work you need to worry about. Would playing video games help me improve my English? Yes, actually. Really, any form of media could help you with improving your English. So like really movies, TV, audiobooks, podcasts, video games, comic books, and really anything. Books in general, anything. So really anything, honestly. So just expose yourself to as much content as you can. But here's the thing. It's important to expose yourself to content that you mostly understand. And the reason for this is that it makes your brain, it makes processing the language a lot easier for your brain. If you try to read a text that has only 50% of words you recognize, then that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Because you'll be spending a lot of time just trying to look words up or trying to translate. No. It needs to be like more like at least 90%. 95 would be even better. Or maybe even 98%. So focus on reading stuff that you can actually understand. For the most part, it doesn't have to be completely comprehensible, just mostly comprehensible. Yeah, and YouTube's also a good place for learning English. Plenty of content that's for learners. Plenty of content. And yeah, Jay did make a good point earlier. The classics of languages, like like classics in literature, they often go by different grammar rules that were standard at the time. So if you read them, and whether or not they're in your native language, you might be confused at first because again the grammar will be different. So unless you are highly advanced, don't bother reading classics. Just don't. So don't read something like The Great Gatsby or A Midnight Summer's Dream and expect to understand it. It's not going to happen. Just no, don't do it. But anyway, is there a proper program or course to fix my English fundamentals, like order of topics to study, to get past my intermediate plateau and become fluent? That's a good question. I honestly don't know because I haven't really looked at very many English programs. You know, the ones that tend to come with workbooks or CDs or whatever. I don't really look at those. Um, so I can't really think. I'm sure there are some out there. I just can't really think of any because I don't really look at those. Really, much of what I teach is just stuff I create myself, using resources from the internet if I need to. But anyway, yeah, it's like uh, I'm sure you can find one, but I can't really think of one, unfortunately. And I know I've gotten a few DMs, but I don't really read DMs while I'm teaching because that's just rather distracting. Like if you want to ask me a personal question, you'll just have to wait after class until after class. Um, Most of my English came from watching Netflix for hours during the quarantine. Yeah, I'm sure that's what a lot of people did. It's like, you know what? Let me just use this opportunity to learn a new language. Oh, that reminds me. So, as Jay said earlier, it's good to challenge yourself with regard to learning the language. So when I said that um, whatever you read or watch or listen to, it should be when I said it should be mostly comprehensible, like mostly understandable. You'll still want to challenge yourself. So find content that's mostly understandable, but it's just slightly above your level. So that way you can get that needed push to become better and better until you can pretty much understand anything that people tell you. Has anyone watched the Peaky Blinders on Netflix? Asking because I want to comment on the accents there. I haven't. I haven't even touched Netflix in a long time. So I really don't know. But anyway. Albert's Camus. I've heard of that name, but I cannot remember what that person wrote. Do you think it's a good way to learn English speech using a random words generator and creating a history with those words? I'd say no, because you might end up getting something that, well, I don't know, honestly. It just doesn't, I think, I don't really like using tools like that. Honestly, I feel like the best way to get, I feel like, because see, when you do things like that, you rob yourself of the needed context for those words. So, um, I would recommend not doing that. At least not too much. I feel like the best way to acquire vocabulary is to just see it used in context, or really just speech in general, not just vocabulary. Okay, let me check something. Oh, I have two hands raised. Trax Cutter, you may come up to the stage.
Good morning from India.
Good
It's
morning.
like night here. So yeah. Um yeah, so I understand that this is a general Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
So What does a typical day in the life of Chiman Ruler 15 look like? Is it hectic with, lots of deadlines and stuff? Or is it pretty relaxed?
Pretty relaxed, if I'm going to be honest. Like I don't really, yeah, I'm not really someone who goes out and does a lot of things. I'm pretty much a homebody, so I just stay home and
Uh,
just yeah.
so did you like become a homebody because of the pandemic, or
No, I was
is
a
it kind
homebody before that.
of yeah, I can understand that. I'm the same. I mean, like, I don't really venture out of my house unless it's very, very important stuff.
Same.
But yeah. So you said, if I remember correctly, you said that um you turned 27 like a couple of months ago, I guess.
Yeah, one month
Is that
ago.
okay. So is there something that has stuck with you uh in all these years? A particular memory, or maybe something somebody has told you, maybe in this server or anywhere else.
Um, I can't think of any, honestly. Off the top of my head, I can't come up with any.
Hmm. So how did you come across the word poggers? Because I think everybody here is really interested to know that.
Oh, Twitch.
Are
That's.
you like a yeah, sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, well, actually, I got it from YouTube, and I learned that it was from Twitch, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's where it came from.
So are you aware of any other memes other than, poggers and stuff?
Yeah, you have Uganda Knuckles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of others. Uh, let's see. There's the meme where SpongeBob is like, "Boy," and and what else? And there's also, well, I mean, it's a song, but it's also a meme. Like, there's the baby shark thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, so many good
Amazing.
ones.
So, so are you like a regular visitor? Like, are you a Twitch streamer, or do you just visit Twitch regularly?
Actually, I hardly use Twitch. It's really YouTube I stream on and use.
Mhm. Do you have plans on streaming on Twitch? Because I've heard that Twitch, is a better platform for streaming than YouTube. At least that's what my understanding has been.
That's correct. Honestly, I tried streaming on it once, but I just preferred YouTube. Honestly, I know Twitch is better, but I just like YouTube more.
Mm. So, are there any favorite streamers of yours that you kind of, tend to follow?
Let's see. Um, hmm. There's There's one that comes to mind. Her name is. Let's see. Let me type in the chat. Her name is her name is Lil Siha, and she's well known in the Just Dance community. You know, if you've played any of the Just Dance games, you might have heard of her. So she streams Just Dance. So
Little C, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't seem to recall the name. Maybe is she famous? Like she has a lot of subscribers and stuff.
Uh, kind of like she's not. She's a bit famous, but like mostly within just the Just Dance series community. Like not like outside of that, she's not really well known. But within that community, she's pretty famous.
Ah, I guess I have to check her out. So, what has been? I'm guessing that UK had been in lockdown for like uh 1.5 year, I guess, or maybe even more, right?
Yeah.
So, what has been, or rather, what have been your quarantine plans? Did you try out anything new? Maybe,
Uh,
something new that you tried out or had been thinking of trying out, and the pandemic gave you a chance to do that.
um. No, honestly, it's just well, the pandemic barely affected my daily life, so I just
Yeah, I
do
can
this.
believe.
Yeah.
Ooh, when you're a homebody and an introvert, nothing really affects you. Like, you don't even realize that stuff has happened. You're like, I'm just going on with my lives.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's like yeah, if you're an introvert, this whole coronavirus thing, it's not going to affect you very much.
Exactly. So, do you love to read books or watch movies or stuff like that?
um, I don't really do much. I don't really read books or watch movies much, but I do play a lot of video games.
Mm. So is there oh, let me guess. So what genre of games do you like? Is it just casual games, or is it what are they called? FPS, right? First person shooters. Or, there's another category, I guess. It's called Battle Royale.
Battle Royale games I'm not particularly fond of, so I stay far away from Fortnite. Because I tried playing it a few times and I was just like, no, I'm bored. Um, but I'm into things like platforming, action adventure, RPGs, role playing games. What
Oh,
else? But yeah, things like that. Oh, in FPSs as well. I have like really every game of Call of Duty except for the first one. So
oh, okay. So any special reason or any particular reason why you don't have the first one?
oh, I just haven't bought it yet. Like it's on Steam, and I just haven't gone around to buying it. I plan to buy it, but I don't have it. I played it once. I borrowed it, but I never actually went to. Uh,
Ah,
yeah.
I see. So actually, like how many games of Call of Duty have been released till now? Because I think they come up with one like every year or so. I've honestly lost track of it.
Yeah,
So,
like every 1 or sometimes 2 years. So there's Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World at War, which would be the fifth, and then there's Modern Warfare 2, and then Black Ops, and then Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Advanced Warfare, uh, Ghosts, Infinite Warfare, uh,
oh,
Vanguard, that's the newest one. And I feel like I'm missing
oh,
one. I feel like I can't remember. Oh, World War II. That's another one. Um,
uh, so it's like 10 or so games
yeah.
for that franchise alone. I think Call of Duty has like the highest games, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, or is there any other franchise that has more games than more releases than Call of Duty?
Uh, I think I don't know. Actually, I think that might like within the FPS genre. I think that's really the only. I think Call of Duty might be the most expansive one. Uh,
Yeah,
oh, I forgot to mention Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War, which is number 5,
exactly. I
and
was thinking
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
But I didn't care for 3 and 4, so I completely forgot about them.
Yeah. So have you like do you play Counter Strike as well, or is it only Call of Duty?
It's really, I think it's really only Call of Duty, but I'm trying to get into, I'm trying to get into Counter Strike. I want to play it one day
Mm-hmm.
because that one's popular and it's free. So I'm like, okay, why not try it out?
Yeah. Just a word of caution is that if you do try it out, if you do decide to play it, you know, try to stay away from multiplayer because it's really toxic. You know, you get just one shot head kills from stuff, and then if you accidentally do kill someone, then they start taunting you and stuff. So yeah, it's I tried it once and it was just absolute hell. So yeah.
That's just really sad.
Yes. Have you played Fear? The it's called. It has about 3 games. It's called FEAR.
I have not. Uh, no, I haven't. I've heard of the games. I just haven't played them.
Ah, I see. Yeah, you should try it out because I did play the third part of it, and the story was really amazing. And there's some, unique mechanics in the game, such as slow motion and stuff like that. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, no.
And like, do you only play games or do you do any other stuff?
Um, if I'm not playing games, I'm just watching videos on YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. Like that's all I spend my time doing. If I'm gonna be honest, it's like, yeah, I'm very, yeah, I'm just very into games and YouTube. That's most of what I do, and of course I do stream some games as well. So that too. So,
Oh, oh, I see. So, what kind of videos do you usually watch on YouTube?
uh, it ranges from just gaming videos, like watching people play games, like
Mm-hmm.
FPSs
Mm-hmm.
what else? Or games like where they try to speed
Okay.
run, like Mario games or
Ah,
Zelda games. Yeah.
ah, okay, okay. So, like, do you have a favorite YouTuber as such who who is a good gamer or who you feel has great gaming skills?
There's Jacksepticeye, if you've all heard of him.
Ah, yeah, Jacksepticeye.
I like him. And there's also Corey X Kenshin as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there are more. Oh, Some Call Me Johnny's another one I enjoy watching. Uh,
Ah,
just those three are my favorites.
okay. So like do you enjoy watching, people talk when they're playing? I mean, I know for Jacksepticeye, he kind of tends to play casual games which are not, immersive, so to speak. But for the others, I don't have any idea. So, yeah. Do you like to watch people talk while they are playing, or do you just prefer, just the gameplay and not, any commentary?
Honestly, I don't think I have a preference. I'm fine with commentary or no commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, I really don't have a preference. I watch both.
I see. Yeah, I personally just, just absolutely hate commentary because, I feel like it takes away from the experience of, the enjoyment when you're trying to watch and then somebody just screams in the, the YouTuber just screams in your.
Yeah, I can see
uh,
that. Yeah, like sometimes some of the commentary I've watched is rather obnoxious. It's like it's like they talk at the worst times, or whatever they're talking about just doesn't interest you, and it's just it's just like you just want to watch them play the game.
right. You're just here to, just watch and just be done with it, and then they just, the most, the biggest part that I hate about commentary is that when there's a cut scene going on and there's no subtitles, right? So they haven't enabled subtitles, and then the characters are speaking something, and you're really trying to focus on, getting to know what they're speaking, and then they're just talking over that. So that's I think the major reason why I don't tend to watch people with commentary.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's the thing that it first coming from someone who's streamed games like that myself, like I've learned from experience that yeah, if I'm gonna be talking over the game, I should have subtitles enabled, which is what I always try to do. So that way, if I
Mm-hmm.
talk over it by chance, I try not to talk over cutscenes, but if I happen to, that way people can still follow what's going on in the cutscenes. Um, but yeah, like I always try to enable subtitles for that reason because I know some like if while I'm talking, people are not going to be able to hear the characters. So
Mm-hmm.
that's quite important. But some streamers or YouTubers in general just don't do that, and that can be irritating.
Exactly. Um, yeah. So how long have you been on YouTube? Is it are you recent, or has it been a couple of years?
Believe it or not, I started when I was 14, so it's been 13 years.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
13 years. Yeah, no, it's a lot. I can't believe it's been that long already.
13, and right now you're what, 27, so almost 14 years, right?
Yeah.
Damn. So have you been like doing it every single day, or is there a break?
No, I've had plenty of breaks in between, but it has been something that I've been doing quite a bit. Uh, yeah, like um, I do it a lot more than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's something that I've always been doing with some breaks here and there. So
So do you intend on doing that for the near future, or do you have plans of stopping?
I don't have plans of stopping like uploading videos of gaming, but with regard to streaming games, live streaming games, I'm just gonna stop that pretty soon because I'm just getting tired of it.
Oh man, and why is that? Because you don't garner more views? Do people not watch?
That it's a number of reasons. That's a big one, but another one is that it's just rather tiring to sit at place one place for hours, uh, talking continuously to entertain people, and who might not even be watching, because I've had streams where no one's been watching, no
Oh
one's
boy.
watching. Yeah, so that can be pretty annoying and frustrating.
Yeah, that's do you still have incidents like that, or do you still have streams where people aren't watching, or there's just nobody there, or um was it only in the beginning?
It's I still have streams like that. It's like sometimes I do,
Oh.
sometimes I don't. Yeah, it's always been like that, really. But I think like it for some reason it's been happening more and more frequently. I don't know why. Because I guess it's like for some reason people are like with certain games I play. People, plenty of people watch like the Just Dance series or the SpongeBob games. People are into those, but everything else is just
Mm-hmm.
no. It's just they don't watch very much, and I just wonder why. It's like unless it's a certain game series, people just don't seem to care.
Yeah, maybe they just prefer to watch other streamers for that particular game, so maybe they don't prefer you. It might sound a bit harsh, but yeah, that at least that's what I think.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, I don't think it's harsh. I get what you mean. Like, yeah, some people may just prefer other streamers. That's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
it can be annoying when no one's watching, and it's just like, why am I even
Yeah.
doing this if no one's watching?
Yeah, that I can understand that would suck. Like that would suck big time. if you're just sitting there waiting for people to watch you and kind of give you some encouragement and stuff, but then everyone's like there's just nobody there. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing there's someone else who wants to ask Crystal, so I'm going to move back to the audience. It was really nice talking with you,
You too.
and thank you very much, sir, and have a good day.
You too. Those were good questions. Yeah, I don't mind sharing things like that about my personal life. So now you guys know a bit more about me and what I do on YouTube. I don't just have this channel where I upload videos about English. I also have plenty of um, content on my gaming channel, which has the same username as my Discord username. It's Chimeruler15. But anyway, oh, I forgot to mention Modern Warfare 2019. Like the remake. I completely forgot to mention that. That's another Call of Duty game. Yeah, there was a reboot. Um, and there's also Modern Warfare Remastered, like a remastered version of the first game and the second. But the second remaster doesn't. The remaster for the second game doesn't have the doesn't have multiplayer, just the campaign. But the first one has both. But anyway, let's go ahead and go on to the next person who wants to speak. Speaketh, Crystal. Shine bright like a diamond.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, I want to say that you're a really good teacher.
Oh, thank you.
You answer all of our questions. Yeah. So I
Oh,
wanted to ask. I'm curious because I'm spending I'm in this server for 3 months, and I was curious. Um, how did the server start? Who created it? And how it became like a famous server with so many people. You're a
honest.
teacher, so I guess you know if you're not, so it's okay.
That's a good question, but actually, I don't know because I joined long after the server was created. So it might have been like what a few years before I joined. So I honestly don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been around.
Yeah, okay. So, um, I had some more questions, but the guy before me really covered
Oh, oh, okay.
questions about you. Um, so thank you to. It's very nice to be in the server. I haven't thought that there is a server with English classrooms and stuff like that. It's really cool, and I think really people can learn from this server and talk to people and um, speak themselves English while you're talking. That's really cool. So I guess I will go back to the audience also.
Okay. But thank you for your question. Yeah, ask whatever questions you want. Yeah, you had plenty of questions, Tracks, but that's okay. Yeah, I just remembered. Oh yeah, there are other people who want to talk. I should probably give them a chance. But I did enjoy that conversation. And yeah, I do remember all those games. Um, quite a number of them. Quite a number of Call of Duty games. Some good, some bad, but yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next person who wants to speak. Speaketh.
Hi.
Hi.
By the way, before I ask, just so you know, I'm wearing a retainer, something like that, in my mouth, so I might say some letters like in a weird way,
Oh, okay. Okay.
the same. Okay, so I want to ask you, basically, if you know what is the SAT.
Oh, the SAT.
I think it's after school. I
Okay.
don't know much about it.
Okay, so it's this test. It's the standardized test that you take in your I think either junior or senior year of high school, and um, supposedly it measures it measures your ability to do college work. I believe it's a test like that. If you get a good score on that test, then it's something that colleges will definitely be looking at. Um, if you get a really high score, they'll definitely want you. A perfect score, and you're pretty much guaranteed to be at the best universities. So yeah, it's called the Scholastic Aptitude Test, I believe. That's what it's called. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty. It's a pretty big deal when it comes to colleges, basically. But if you
All
don't
right.
if you don't do well in it, it's not really the end of the world. It'll just be harder for you to get into like the really good schools, but you know you'll still be able to go to college just fine.
Can you give it again, or is just one time?
Sorry, what?
Can you give it again, like to take that test
You can, but
again, if if you want?
yeah, you can, but I think you'd have to pay for it. The first time was free, I think, but after that, you every subsequent time you take the test, you'd have to pay for it. I retook it once. I can't remember how much it was to retake it though. But yeah, the first time is free, I think.
Mm-hmm. I see. I'm asking because I live in Greece, so I want to go to America and go to college in America, specifically to be exact in New York Film Academy. So uh, I saw that I need to give to take that SAT, and I didn't know why what is it. So that's why I asked you.
Oh, okay.
Uh, what are you giving it after high school? Like you have to end the school years, something like that.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
Uh, I mean, when you'll be able to give this test, the SAT, like after finishing high school, or
No, they give it to you like in I believe in either what your junior year or senior year. So so like towards the end of high school.
I'm senior here, by the way, right now.
Oh,
But I don't know when how can I give it because I'm not from America and I don't know how this works. So
okay, I see. But yeah, it's
all
something
right,
you. Yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, that was it for me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for answering.
No problem. I think you're doing the last year of high school or something. Yeah, I took it my junior year, like completely free of charge. Um, the SAT, I
Yes.
mean. But, huh?
You got me again.
Oh, I meant to put. Yeah, I'll just move you back to the.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got back up there. I thought I moved him to the audience. Huh. Okay, well. But yeah, I took it my junior year free of charge, but then I took it again my senior year where I had to pay for it. But it didn't matter much because I got only like a slightly higher score. Like only 130 points higher. That's really not much. Is it difficult? It is. The biggest issue with it, I should probably mention this as well. It's timed. So, some sections are going. It depends on the section, really. Some sections are going to be hard for you to do because you'll have like questions about a certain passage, but you also have to read the passage, and they give you a short time period to do that. So you basically like just have to like either read the passage as fast as you can or just skim it, and then go to the questions. Go answer the questions afterwards. So, like I think the time limit for each section ranges from 20 to 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I can't remember exactly how long the sections are, but it's somewhere around that. It's somewhere around that amount. Oh, you have to go, Tracks Cutter? Okay, bye. Thank you for being here and for asking some good questions. But yeah, see, there are multiple math sections. The math sections aren't too bad, but there are multiple math sections, multiple reading sections, multiple vocabulary sections. I can't remember how it's structured though, so I might be off with my explanation here in some places, but it's been years, quite a number of years since I last took the test. Almost like I think about 10 or so years since I last took the test. So, but yeah, it's timed and you have multiple sections and you have to go through them as fast as you can. But the thing is though that you're not penalized for leaving questions unanswered. You're penalized for incorrect questions, I believe. The incorrect answers to the questions, I mean. So if you don't have time to answer a certain question, then you're better off just skipping it than trying to attempt it, I believe. I think there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I think to me personally, I find the math sections the easiest because you don't have to read the passage or anything like that. All you just have to do is just solve the question or equation or whatever, and then just move on. But the vocabulary and reading sections can be quite difficult. And yeah, you should. And as Nagam just said in the, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, as he said in the chat, you should practice a lot before you do those kinds of tests, which is what I did when I went to take it a second time. The first time I didn't practice at all, but the second time I did. I bought a workbook and worked through it, and it did help, but only marginally. But yeah, yeah, you should. I recommend practicing a lot with the SAT tests before actually, doing them. So you could find a workbook anywhere. They're not very expensive. So just find one, work through the tests, the sections, and try to time yourself, and then just keep doing that until you get better and more comfortable with taking those tests, and then boom, that's it. Are they multiple choice exercises? I think they are. I'm not sure if all of them are, but I believe most of them are. I honestly don't remember much. I still have. Oh shoot! I still have. I still have my SAT workbook actually. Well, one of them anyway. I think I have. Well, I had two. I think I have both. Actually, I don't know. I'd have to go and look, but I know I have at least one of them. I have a question. So when and how can we use the word though and eventually? Thanks for your answering in advance. Um, well, eventually means that something's going to take a long time to occur. So when you say, I'll finish the project eventually, that implies that you're going to take a long time to do it. It won't mean that you won't finish it. It'll just mean that you'll take a long time to do the project. Um, though is though is just a word that it means it's something along. It's used when you want to express something that's uh, contrary to something else. So you could say something like, "Ooh, I got an A in math class." You got a C in English class, though. So in that case, though is used to express contrast between one context and another. But really, you can understand what these words mean by just looking at how they're used in context. It's usually you can figure out what a word means by just looking at the context in which it is used, and then you'll understand when to use it. It's certainly, I think that method is better than just simply looking up the words in a dictionary, because although the dictionary does try to provide uh, some example sentences with some definitions, it doesn't always do that, and sometimes the definitions can be confusing. So anyway, how can I improve my writing skills? You do a lot of reading. Reading helps with writing. Do a lot of reading, and you will be exposed to to your target language in its standardized form. Because grammar, writing is closer to conventional grammar than spoken language is. Written language is just closer to the standardized form of language than uh, spoken languages. So if you want to improve your writing skills, do a lot of reading. And of course you want to practice writing as well. And try to get feedback from other people when you write. That will definitely help as well. Why does my voice change when I speak a different language? Um, I assume that you mean that your voice might get like that you might talk in a higher tone, or that you might be more excited or whatever. Like that's actually pretty normal. I think like from what I've heard, your personality may change a bit depending on the language you speak. So you might sound all low and monotone in English, but you might sound more excitable in Spanish, or or um or or in German. It's just whatever. It depends. It depends on the person, but that's actually pretty normal. I don't really know why. Yeah. Your personality does change a bit when you speak different languages, but I'm not really sure what the reason is for that. I'm sure there is a scientific reason. I just don't know what it is. When can I use I'm, it's, we've? Well, they're all just contractions that stand for. They're basically shortened versions of. They're combinations of two words basically. So I'm would be I am. It's would be it is. We've would be we have. So basically, you use them whenever you use the longer forms of those contractions. So you could, instead of saying I am at the store, you could just say I'm at the store. Um, and of course, you'll want to use contractions as much as possible when you're speaking, because if you don't use contractions at all, you might sound really stiff and formal. So yeah, the more contractions you use, the more you'll sound natural. Although there are times where you don't need to use contractions and shouldn't, but usually you'll want to use contractions. But of course, you never want to use them in informal situations. So don't use them when you're writing an academic essay or a technical report. Just no. But otherwise, yes. Okay, let me go back to the hands. But wait, first let me read what the scientific reason is that the way you think is based off the language you think in, and the way the language works. And languages work in different ways, and thus the way you think changes, and so does the personality. That's a short answer. Very poorly explained for me. I'm sorry. I'm kind of being distracted. That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, like learning different languages can really open your mind up to different things. So, and it's good that more and more people are learning languages, foreign languages. Who knows? Maybe in the future, monolingualism, speaking only one language, will just be a thing of the past, where everyone will be able to speak at least 2 languages, or maybe even 3. That'd be a pretty cool thing. Imagine if Spanish were actually an official language in North America. That would be so cool. I mean, by North America, I mean the USA, not North America, but that'd be pretty cool. My grandpa used to say the more languages you know, the more open-minded you are. Exactly, yeah. Like, I feel like when I speak Spanish, I tend to be I tend to be a little less reserved and a little more humorous. But with English, it's just like no. Okay, let's go to the next hand. I need to catch some hands. Okay, God of War, you're up.
Testing.
Testing complete.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity to be up here on top of you. How many questions can I ask you?
Really, you can ask. I think up to 3 would be a good number.
Oh, that would be nice. Does it have to be relevant to English community?
No, it could be anything. Yeah, really, you can ask me anything.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
That was my phone, but go ahead.
So you wanna respond to the text message first?
It's probably nothing important. Yeah, it's nothing important. Don't worry.
Okay. let's get started.
Okay.
The first question. You're not gonna get rewarded or graded. All right. I just want to know what your answer. There's no right or wrong.
Okay.
All right. And then if the answer is complicated, and you have no clue what I'm asking, you could just say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
All right. For the first question, back in Beijing, China, in the year 1989, the question is, did anything happen in 1989, Tiananmen Square?
That.
Yes or no?
I don't know, so I guess I'd say no.
Okay, that's the correct answer.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to the second question since I have 2 more here. All right, let's get back to the English for relevance here. So when it comes to the interview, cracking the code interview, and let's say for instance the interviewing is purely English, how can I avoid saying like I mean, like, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
I would say. Oh, great! Now I'm doing it, but.
Yeah, you've been doing it. Yeah.
God. I would say to avoid. Yeah, I would avoid doing it, especially in an interview. It just makes you seem. It just makes you seem really hesitant and unconfident, and you don't really want that.
So. Yeah, I figured.
So just practice like having an interview with other people, and hopefully that tendency or habit will just disappear.
Okay. I actually have one more question, but I only have one chance, so I'll just use another one. Okay. My last one would be, since it looks like you're a mod here, how has this, how do you like this community, ever since you became a mod here? How do you like it here?
Oh, actually, I'm not a mod. I'm a teacher, although some teachers are mods, but I'm not a mod.
Oh,
Yeah.
See,
But otherwise, anyway, yeah, I do.
as a
I like
teacher,
the yeah.
yeah. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I get it. As a teacher, yeah, I actually really like this community. The people here are pretty good overall, and I like answering their questions. And sometimes they help me answer questions that I'm not able to answer with regard to the English language. So it's a really good community. There are plenty of nice teachers and other students who are willing to help teach. So this is a really good server for learning English.
Oh, okay. I guess that's it then. Thank you for letting me be up here. You have a good one, all right?
You too. Yeah, these are some good questions. Some good questions. With Trax Color, I really should have put a limit on the number of questions he could ask, but I didn't think that far ahead when having this session, so I do apologize for that. But I did enjoy this questions. But yeah, you can ask up to 3 questions. Who are you? Your worst nightmare. No, but anyway. 24 languages, 24 personalities. Oh, good lord. For real, who are you? I mean, just an English teacher on the server, really. What's a good way of practicing your pronunciation? Well, listening and practicing. Like, as I said, listen and repeat. Listen to how natives pronounce sounds and do your best to imitate. Just keep doing that. And sooner or later, you'll be able to at least almost completely eliminate your accent. Because I've met plenty of people with really good accents. Like, just, their accents are barely even there. And I'm just like, wow, you guys are great. How did you sound so good? And it just comes down to practice. So do a lot of listening and a lot of practice. And you could even get an accent coach to help you if you need to. That works too. Learning IPA, I mean, you can. I don't think it's necessary, but you can. That's fine. And yeah, of course, the more you speak, the more you have an opportunity to practice your pronunciation as well. So try to speak as much as you can. But you know, you don't have to like go out there and try to speak with people to improve your pronunciation. Although it will definitely help. It's not exactly necessary. You can just do that on your own time. Pull me up to rate my accent. To rate your accent. Your accent. It is no, I'm kidding. But someone's before you, so I just need you to wait for a bit. But let me go ahead and invite this person to speak. So you may come up to the stage. We shall wait for you. Yeah, accent coaches do exist. Like, there's one on YouTube called Hadar's Hadar Accents Way or something like that. Here, let me type in the chat. It's something like that. Like, she knows IPA and her accent is really, really good, almost non-native. Almost native. So I would go to her YouTube channel and check her out because she knows the struggles of non-native speakers. She can definitely help with your pronunciation if you need some more help on that. Is he not or is she not coming up? That's weird. They're gone. They must have just left. Oh no, they're still here. They just haven't spoken. They're not coming up. That's weird. Like I gave you an invite. Maybe something's wrong with their Discord. It's possible. Too shook to join. Conversation. How is Conversation Club? Is it every week? I don't know, honestly. Yeah, check the calendar. I think it might be every week, but I'm not sure. I should probably start having classes like that though for intermediate students, where it's just like where we can talk about certain topics and then let people come up and then discuss things like that. I think I'll start having that for my intermediate classes, and for my beginner classes, I'm just going to like talk about basic things like numbers and shapes and feelings. But don't worry, it won't be like Barney the Dinosaur. No, we're not going down that route. But anyway. And they're not coming up. I guess I'll just go to the next person then, because they're just not coming up. If they do come up, they can just mute themselves and wait. Right, let me just go ahead and invite the next person. Come on up, Gask.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Everything good? Nice. So, from like my accent, where do you think I'm from? Region. You don't have to like specifically say the country.
Maybe. Shoot. Maybe Europe? Somewhere in Europe, I'm guessing?
No, North Africa.
Oh, wow.
Libya specifically.
Oh, wow. Your accent's very good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, you guys just impress me with your ability to
And I have no idea how I got it too. It's just like, I mean, I've been like around English like speakers around like my whole life. Like I've been playing video games since I was like 7. Online video games. Started off with like Halo, Call of Duty, shit like that.
Yeah, it's no surprise that you just picked up the really good pronunciation
From a bunch of people around me. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've done a good job, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, Forcan.
Oh, hey.
Hey, there you are.
Hello, guys. Yeah. I just want to join the. I can introduce myself.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm living in US. I just moved 3 years ago. And I graduated economics in my country, and
Where
then
you from exactly?
I'm from Turkey.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, when I graduated college, I moved to the US, and then right now I'm taking to a coding bootcamp. Yeah, I hope I'm gonna be a software engineering, like
Yeah, good luck with that, bro.
Yeah, thank you. And also I'm trying to improve my English. Yeah, that's pretty much about me. So
Very cool, very sick.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think I hope you become I think it's cool that you're trying to become a software engineer, because I have spent some time with coding myself, and it is pretty fun.
Yeah, actually I like it. So yeah, actually I was thinking I mean, you should have a computer science degree if you want to be a software engineer.
Yeah.
But it's totally different. You know,
What
I mean,
exactly is the degree called that you need?
I can say you don't need any degree, even degree. Yeah, really.
Experience,
If you
maybe?
are, if you are interested, like coding, you can take the course, and then you can take the interview and then got the job. So
No
no,
degree is
like,
needed. Very cool.
yeah.
Nice.
But if you have a degree, it's better. I mean,
True.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, it's because you can get you can go the master
Something to
or
add to your resume,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I just I have the green card in US, and I was thinking, so what should I do in US? Because I am I am an immigrant, so it's so hard to I don't know, just the like first 2 years, it's not easy for me, in US.
New environment, you're adjusting, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the thing is, I have a Turkish community here.
Oh.
So I'm spending time with them, but it's I cannot improve my English. So
Yeah.
that's why just and I
You
thought,
shouldn't go out and throw yourself into situations where you like need English.
yeah,
Like
I
go around
was,
like stores or like bars maybe.
yeah, that's right. So yeah, I was trying to make friends, like American friends or girlfriend. Yeah, just let's see. It's not easy, but I think when I got the jobs, so it's gonna be better
Yeah.
to make friends, make network or something.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanna talk and make conversation. Yeah. That's. And also, I wonder. I'm looking friends who interesting programming language, any programming language.
That reminds
so
me,
how-
like, oh, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. If I mean this server, like English server. I mean, how can I find the friends who is studying computer science or like interesting programming language? Yeah.
Maybe find Discords, maybe go on the internet, go like on a subreddit maybe. Look all over the internet, you'll find people.
Oh, and actually, on this server, there's actually there's actually a channel called STEM, so you could look for people to talk to about programming languages there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What programming languages do you know anyway?
I am mainly I know the Java programming language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just focus to Java. But I'm also I will take the Python programming language course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think with me it's been mostly C++ with a little bit of C.
That's good.
But yeah, you can find anyone really. Like that's the great thing about Discord. It just allows so many people to connect.
Yeah.
Whole internet in general, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
It's just
place.
yeah. You're right.
Sometimes it's bad though.
Sometimes, definitely.
I mean, I just saw some friends, like almost every like software engineer looks like, um, they don't like a social people. I mean,
True.
they are just
Don't let that stereotype apply to you.
yeah.
Don't let it take you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, there's a really good opportunity, like last 3 years, like you can. I mean, if you don't have any background, so that's okay. I mean, you can like learn some language, and then you can get jobs. So I really suggest, yeah.
I didn't get that last part. Say again.
I mean, I'm saying just if anybody just thinking like a software engineering is, I mean, how can I get to software engineer because I don't have a degree or something, blah blah. It's not a problem. So I have a friend. He was a teacher. He was a like a how can I say? It's a Turkish teacher. Like I don't know what is the name in US, but I mean he doesn't have any math background or any engineering background.
Right.
But he still he just finished the course, and then he studied hard, and then he got the job. So when I see him, so
He
and I
inspired
said,
you, basically.
yes, that's right, yeah, because I study economics, so I have a background. I mean,
Oh.
I can do
right.
that. So, and then I started. I'm about to finish the course, so and then I'm gonna look the job. Yeah, and also I have a friend. He working at Mastercard as an engineer, also Apple.
Nice.
Yeah, it's and I know them.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, the one of my friends, he doesn't have any degree, but he's working at Mastercard as an engineer. So that's really cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So yeah, yeah, that's just they inspire me. Yeah, I'm just
Good to have like inspiring people around you.
yeah. Yeah, also I'm gonna inspire the people. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry for my English. I I
Try to emphasize that
understand.
last point more.
Yeah, just my English is not enough to talk like fluently. Like, but
That's okay.
That's all right. I'll become better.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Making
hope.
it better right now,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No problem.
I shouldn't be saying that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like sometimes having other people around can make my classes more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wish you good luck in your journey.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
You too, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Do you have any more questions for me?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you, coming up on the stage.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll see you, brother.
Bye. I really should have, it really would be nice if, I could, stream a game what? Among Us or Minecraft with other people, and then other people could watch. Like, some people on the server could play with me. I've been thinking about doing that, but I don't know how to go about doing it. I feel like that would really make things more interesting, because for most of my Minecraft videos, I've just been doing the things for myself. I'm like, let me just play with other people. It's like, that'd be pretty cool. I'll think of something. And not even just those games. It could be really any game. Although Among Us might be hard because I haven't touched that game in a long time, and I'm pretty sure it's dead now. Like, it's been dying, but I haven't touched that in a long time. So, I'd say 2 months or so. I don't even know. But yeah, regarding what Not Blue Beast said, if you're collaborating with others on projects, yeah, you eventually do want to meet in person, but most of the time you can just just talk to people remotely, and that's a really cool thing about things like services like GitHub, because you can just, if you're working on a big coding project, you guys can just work on things independently and then bring it together without trampling over other people's work. So it's pretty cool. The last time you played Among Us, you just kept running around trying to figure out what was going on. Yeah, that game, it can have it can have a bit of a learning curve, but you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it pretty quickly. It's not that hard. Although you want to avoid playing with dumb people, because good lord, when this game was popular, there were a lot of dumb people playing online. So many. And it's just have you guys not played this game before? But anyway, GTA 5 roleplay. The thing about GTA 5 is that I think the servers for the 360 and PS3, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, I think they're gonna go down. Who knows? Within the next few months or so. So there really isn't a lot of time left to play GTA 5 on those consoles. Now on the Xbox One and PS4, of course, but on the Xbox 360 and PS3, I have GTA 5 for both of those consoles. There's not going to be a lot of online play for very long. That Among Us post, I cannot deal with that. That picture of Yellow twerking. And insert that stupid Money Machine song. But there's this one video where you see the Yellow character twerking, but it's a lot more intense. It's faster. And I'm just okay. Oh, you want to come up and on the stage. Come up.
Test. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What I wanted to ask is actually two questions.
Okay.
Well, one question, but it can go two ways. So, why do in some countries like Russia and, if I could say, even France maybe, some people just don't want to learn English. Why is that?
That's honestly, that's a good question. And from what I've heard there was this from we've heard from like one Latin American teacher I had, one who taught Spanish, that she once came across some Mexicans who were capable of speaking English but just did not like to. So honestly, I don't really know what causes that. I guess just some people just don't like certain languages or the way they sound or anything like that. They just don't. They may be able to speak them, but they just don't want to. It's honestly, I don't know exactly what causes it, but I really it's
Yes, I see nine and some numbers after that said that they don't have to speak, they don't have to use the language. And when I think about it, it's understandable. For example, Russia, they're pretty big, very good economics, good military power, if I could mention that here. And I think, yeah, that's understandable. I've heard of many, I mean, because I'm in Bulgaria, there are many Russian people here, and they know how to speak English, but their parents, like the kids, just they don't allow them to speak English for some reason. I don't know
oh
how are the political stuff. It could be something with the politics. Actually, that's a very big chance. But yeah, it's very interesting.
hmm that is interesting and weird.
Yeah, actually, it's from Russia for Russia specifically because well, I'm Slav, so I know
Oh,
that. Yeah. So for there, they don't actually tend to want to speak any language at all other than Russian. Like they feel like um, others should be learning their language. They don't want to study other languages.
yeah, that's true.
And also, by the way, I just want to quickly confirm that yes, Among Us is dead.
I figured.
Mm.
Like they've been trying to revive the developers have been trying to keep it alive by adding stuff like vent cleaning task and stuff like that. I'm just like it's too late. Yeah. Like all like they also added a few new colors as well, and I'm just like no, man, that's not gonna work. It's too late. The game's dead. You can't revive it. It's not popular anymore.
Yes, in general, anything that goes popular too quickly will go down with the same speed. Same happened with kind of Bitcoin and other cryptos. I mean, they're still up, but eh, not
It's
really.
yeah, it's really sad.
I myself invested some. Anyway, that's another topic. So the other thing I want to ask about languages. Normally, French language is only spoken in in France, basically.
Hmm.
But I still know that many people want to learn the language. Why is that? Is it because of the culture or something else?
Huh? It might be because of the culture. Um, friend,
Yeah, like the fashion and
yeah,
other stuff.
yeah, because some people actually do associate the language of French with love or just romance. So that might be a reason. And so some people it just sounds cool, and
Mm.
it's kind of becoming more and more important, like kind of like Spanish. So um, so that might be another reason. Like it's just becoming more and more popular. Yeah, it's used in many countries. Yeah, you have Canada, France, obviously. There was
Mm.
thinking the Congo as well in Africa. Um, but yeah, plenty of countries use it.
Really? I did not know that. I thought it's only in France and that's about it.
Oh no, no, it's everywhere basically. But
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Nice. Because I was wondering what language should I study next because I'm moderately comfortable with English now, and I'm also learning Spanish, but I plan to start learning something else this summer, and I don't know what. I mean, I have a few ideas, but I need to decide. There are too many ideas.
I would say I would say
Out of my ideas is German or maybe Russian.
I think German might be a bit of a. I think it might be more of a. I think it'd be. I think it would be better for you because it German is quite important in Europe, so
Mm-hmm.
I would learn that. Um, Russian is just not as widespread as German is, but German is quite important in Europe, so I would go with that.
Yes, I personally like German a lot because Germany's economics is very good. So I've heard,
Yeah,
and also so many people speak it outside of the country, and it's pretty cool. But the reason I'm thinking about Russian is mainly because if I decide to learn it, I would have a bit of an advantage because I have actually had to study Russian in school. I didn't do so well though, because the teacher was killing my muse. So um, the other advantage is that because I'm Bulgarian, I'm using kind of the same alphabet as them. It's a weird alphabet. And also with the pronunciation, some words are the same. For example, you say mom in the same way and other stuff.
yeah, yeah. So it's not going to be hard for you to learn that. So I don't understand why it would be. You'd think about doing that. I mean, if you want, you can learn both at the same time, of course. But
Honestly, yeah, life is pretty long and I'm young. And yeah, I might learn both.
yeah,
Or even more languages after that. So, to going back to the personality thing is, I'll have something like, what, 4 personalities now?
probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think now Russian would be good as well, but I think it's probably the most prominent Slavic language. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
it wouldn't be bad to learn as well. But yeah, German's more widespread. But so if you had to choose one or the other, I would go with German. But of course, you probably think about learning both, so why not go for it?
Yeah. Speaking of Russian, have you ever met someone in this server that is from Russia and like has a pretty strong Russian accent?
Yeah, a few, I think.
Nice. Because I really enjoy listening to that Russian accent for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's good. I like it too. Like I just like the way they pronounce words in English.
Honestly, I can kind of mimic it, but I don't know. Some people think that that specific accent is not just Russian. They think it's Slavic overall, and there's a lot of Slavic countries, and I'm here to say that that's not true because even though Slavic, the languages sound in a different way. For example, let's say someone from Bulgaria who doesn't have a good English accent is speaking English, and a Russian who doesn't have a good English accent, they're both speaking. There will be a difference, like very big difference.
Yeah.
It's noticeable. Or for example, from Poland, some people from Poland. There's many Slavic countries.
Yeah, it's really not. I don't know why people would. I don't know why people are thinking that. There are multiple Slavic languages in multiple Slavic countries. It's not just
Yeah.
Russia and Russian.
Yeah, because like when they hear Slavic, they just think of Russia.
It's like no, 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 no. There are more than that. You got again. As you said, you have Poland, Bulgaria, like there.
Ukraine, maybe.
Yeah, that too. What else? Czechoslovakia, as well. I think.
Czechoslovakia, Slovakia also, which is a pretty small country, by the way.
Yeah, it is pretty small, but yeah, it's there. People think, oh, just Slavic. You mean Russian? No, 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 no. There's more.
I had a friend from there, and they have like their own language, which is pretty cool because like even though their country is small, they have their own language. And the reason I find this cool is because, well, according to one of them, he said that because no one speaks the language, when they go somewhere else, they can just say whatever they want in public, and no one will know what they're talking about.
That'd be funny to hear.
Yeah. Now I won't give the example he gave because it was kind of vulgar. That's how it is. But yeah, you got the idea.
Okay.
Other countries, how to delete Russia from the map? Why?
You can never
Yeah,
do
Russia
that.
is pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty much impossible. But Russia is pretty hard when it comes to political stuff. I think.
It's pretty what?
Like it's pretty, not hard. I need the right word. Um, Hard-headed, maybe.
I can see that, honestly.
Complicated? Yes, that's a word that I'd use. Strict. Ambitious?
Ambitious? Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, maybe ambitious because, for example, always the prices of, let's say, the gas that they give to other countries is kind of overpriced, and yeah.
That says a lot because, like, in California compared to other states in the USA, gas is expensive. So for Russia to be even more expensive than that, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just got a text here. Okay.
It's okay.
So one of the only reasons, maybe the only reason I would learn Russian specifically is because I play a lot of games and I find it very annoying when I stumble across a Russian person that just does not want to speak English or doesn't know, and I need to communicate with them. It's games, it's cooperation. So it would be kind of cool to communicate with them at least.
That's a good point, and that's a good point because like if you're gonna come across a lot of those people, yeah, you would want to speak in their language because they don't want to speak English or whatever. So it's
Yes. Speaking of that, for some reason the past year actually, not only a couple months, I have constantly been hold on a minute, my English. I have constantly stumbled across people from the Netherlands, like a lot, at least 100 people maybe.
oh, okay.
I have no idea why is that.
I don't know either. I wonder what could be causing you to come across quite a number of people from the Netherlands. I wonder if it's something to do. I wonder if something might be causing them to just migrate out of the country, but I don't know what it could be.
Maybe, well, all of them have been complaining about the politics.
I think,
That's
yeah,
the-
that was my first guess. I'm like, it must have something to do with the politics. I'm sure it does.
Yeah. Also, some say the weather's bad, but I am not informed about that specifically.
Fair enough, yeah. Like, if a place is too hot or too cold or too rainy or whatever, then it's understandable to want to go somewhere else.
hmm Okay, well, that's about all I had to say for now in this topic.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for having me around. It was pretty fun.
No problem. Thank you for asking your questions.
Anytime. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye. So many good questions. I think I might eventually learn Russian as well. It seems like such a cool language. A lot of people say it's hard because of the whole cases thing and the whole like genders and the verbal aspects. I don't care about that. Plus I've been told that I have a really high affinity for grammar, so that stuff's not going to bother me. Like if I can handle something like German and Spanish, Russian's not going to be it's not going to be much different. But anyway. What can I tell to someone that I did not? How can I tell someone that I didn't understand what they said in English in an educated way? I'm guessing you mean in a polite way, maybe? Well, anyway, you could just say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Could you repeat that? Or you just could you repeat that, please? Oh, you're new? Hi, welcome to the server. Well, to my class, really. You might have been on the server for a while. I'm trying not to speak too quickly, because since this is a general, since I'm sorry, I can't speak today. Since this is a general Q&A session, and not one that's about grammar or just a class about a certain topic of grammar, I'm trying to speak more clearly for everyone. So you won't hear me speaking a mile a minute. But sorry, sometimes I do have problems with my pronunciation because I sometimes get so excited that my mind goes from one topic to another, but I don't let my mouth catch up, and then it just becomes one huge jumbled mess. Are you a polyglot by any chance? Unfortunately, no. I could have... See, I grew up speaking English, but I have a heritage language. It's a West African language called Igbo. It's spelled... Let me spell in the chat. Igbo. That's my heritage language. I really should have capitalized that, but whatever. And I didn't grow up speaking it. Like... My mom at first taught it to me when I was a very young kid, but then she stopped, and then I don't remember most of it. So, I mean, I've heard it spoken all my life, so I can recognize when it's being spoken. And I did learn a few basic things in what they called Igbo school, like years later. So, I know how to count, and I know a few basic vocabulary words. I know about the subject pronouns, but that's it. Like, I don't know how to fully speak it. So, and of course I know a few basic phrases, but that's it. I never went past that point. So I could have grown up bilingual, but unfortunately, no, I'm not. Yeah, it's just frustrating when you have a language in your family, but they don't teach it to you. So you grow up speaking only whatever language is in your community. And I mean, I don't hate my mom or anything, or my dad, but I just kind of wish they had kept up, like they had just persisted in teaching me Igbo. I mean, to be fair, like that happens with a lot of immigrant kids, because, well, not kids who are immigrants themselves, not necessarily, but immigrant parents, like children of immigrant parents, or they come into their country and then they say, oh, well, since since only English is spoken here, I guess you don't need to know the other language. So that's just, it's sad, but that's just how a lot of kids end up. They have other languages, but they don't learn them. Yeah, you're from India and your family's Punjabi, but you can't speak Punjabi. Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. But what can you do? But yeah. I mean, I guess having a heritage language is better than just being purely monolingual, but, like, at the end of the day, the English is really the only language I can speak fluently. I can't, with any other language, it's just no. But I am trying to learn Spanish and German, though. And I tried to learn a bit of French, too. But I stopped, because I was just like, I'm going to learn something else. I guess it's just the pronunciation that really intimidates me. Although I guess it really shouldn't, because English's pronunciation is even worse than French's pronunciation, because French's pronunciation is weird, but it's consistent, and English's pronunciation is not. But anyway. So, but anyway, yeah. I'm a heritage speaker of Igbo and a native speaker of English. And I'm learning Spanish and German. So I'm not a polyglot, but who knows? I'll get there eventually. Oh, you're of Russian descent, but you don't speak it? Aw. It'd be cool if you could speak Russian, but yeah. If you are not native, would you rather learn English with a teacher, or would you self-learn? Or both? I mean, yeah, obviously you can do both, of course. Like, I'm not, but, honestly, I'd rather mostly I would just do self-learning. I mean, having a teacher can help. It's not going to hurt, and it can be beneficial, but it's not exactly necessary. It won't hurt, but it's not exactly necessary. You can really learn the language by yourself. Because I've had teachers, and I've had teachers of Spanish, but I've also been learning myself, and at one point I did both. So it's like, really, I just prefer to learn the language by myself, because I can just choose what I learn. But really, any method will be fine. You could have a teacher, you could not have a teacher, you could choose not to have a teacher, and you could just do both. Pronunciation is always the main issue when speaking. Yeah, it's the one thing that will. It's probably the hardest thing when it comes to wanting to sound like a native, because unless your language is very similar in terms of pronunciation to your target language, then you're gonna have a hard time, and that's the one thing that's going to be really, really difficult to get rid of. Your non-native pronunciation, if it's even possible to completely get rid of it. So, yeah, it's tough, especially if you're trying to learn a language that has unique sounds, like sounds that most other languages don't have. That's going to be tough. What's a third culture kid? I don't know what that is. I'm not so much nowadays, but when I was a kid, I was very much a part of Nigerian culture. I should have mentioned what country my heritage language was from. It's from Nigeria. I'm of Nigerian descent. Nigeria's in West Africa. And my parents were born there, but they moved to the U.S. just before I was born. So that was like 1994, and I was born in 1994. But yeah, like. Yeah, I've always been in tune with Nigerian culture. Not as much today as I was when I was a kid, but yeah, I never got separated from my culture, just the language. So it was just funny because once when I went to Nigeria with, to visit my mom's side of the family, they all lived there while my dad's side of the family lives here in the U.S. mostly. They were surprised, because they knew I was from America, but they were so surprised when I started eating Nigerian food, and they were like, "Wait, you eat Nigerian food?" I'm like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I?" It's like, I'm from America, sure, but I haven't been separated from my culture. I still eat Nigerian food like jollof rice and fufu and stuff like that. Come on, like Nigerian food is great. Like, I'm not gonna be separated from that. But anyway, I like jollof rice, right? It's the best. It's my favorite type of rice, followed by yellow rice and then white rice with stew. Okay. The third culture is influenced both by their parents' culture and the culture in which they are raised. Oh, I don't think I've ever had something like that in my life. But yeah, even though it's not even just me. A lot of Nigerian kids who grow up in the U.S. end up not speaking the language, but they're still very much in tune with the culture that their parents grew up in. At least somewhat. But yeah. I'm a Nigerian who can't speak his heritage language. But then again, I'm not the only one. My brother and sister. I have a brother and sister too, and they're both younger than me. My brother's like 1 year younger, and my sister's 3 years younger than me. Um, yeah, they can't speak it either. I mean, like we know basic stuff, but that's really it. And we can recognize when the language is being spoken, but that's it. Yeah, African Asian parents are quite good about, making sure that their kids are are very much in tune with their culture. I've yet to find some that don't care. But but yeah, that's my cultural history. Oh, that reminds me. Also, in Igbo, I also know like body parts as well. So like aka means hand, and imi means nose, and onu means mouth, and nti means ear. And I know my pronunciation is a native, but whatever. But yeah, like I remember. I'm surprised I still remember that stuff. But anyway, yeah. For the most part, I cannot speak the language. And I should also point out that Igbo is a tonal language because, like, it has tones, like Mandarin, but its tonal system isn't as complicated as Mandarin's is. Um, so yeah, how you pronounce a word, the tone of the word, like, because again, like, a word can have like two different tones or even more than that, and it would mean different things then. So I'm kind of I'm like at a surface level familiar with the concept of tones. But that's enough of that. I think I've gone off on a tangent. Reminds me of pre-calculus, but I don't know why because the word tangent. But anyway, would you learn the Silbo-Gomero language? I don't even know what that is. Honestly, I don't even know what that is. What about immersion learning? That's great too. Like if you want to go into a country and then live there, at least for a while, then that's a great way of learning the language because then you can't fall back on your target language. Depending on the country, you can't fall back on your native language. Sorry, depending on the country, you can't just fall back on your native language, and instead of just actually using the language that you intend to learn. So that's a good way of doing it. Like you could move, like if you want to learn Spanish, like you could move to, or not exactly move, but visit a country where English isn't really spoken, and then you'd be forced to use Spanish. So, I know I talk quite a bit about Spanish, but it's really the language that I have the most experience with that isn't my native language. And I even use it when I'm at the grocery store. I even use it with some of the customers, and they're generally very excited or impressed at the Spanish I use. So I say things like "Que tengan un buen día," and they're like, "Oh, igual." And it's like, "Ooh, good Spanish." And I'm like, "Thank you." But anyway. It's a whistled register of Spanish used by the inhabitants of La Gomera in the Canary, I think that's how you pronounce it? Canary Islands to communicate across the deep ravines and narrow valleys that radiate through the island. It enables messages to be exchanged over a distance of up to 5 kilometers. Goodness! The more you know. Here, let me just... There we go. The more you know. That's also a meme, by the way. For those of you who don't already know, which I mean, I doubt that's pretty. I doubt none of you know it, but anyway. Pork. Oh, I love a good pork in the morning. That reminds me that language you mentioned. It reminds me of Navajo because that language was used. That Native American language was used in what was one of the world wars. I think it was either World War One or World War Two. They were used to. It was used to send secret messages to it was to friendly forces. So the enemy couldn't like read the messages. They could intercept them, but they couldn't read them. So it's like, so that language actually played a big role in one of the American wars. Not why did I say American War? It was a World War. I can't remember which one though. I think it was World War II, but I cannot remember. But anyway, oh wow, we've almost hit 3 hours. I mean, there's no one after me, but I don't want to make this class too long. So does anyone have any final questions before I go? Time passes fast. Indeed. And I'm sorry again that I've not been as enthusiastic as I normally am in these classes. Yeah, I really should have gotten more sleep, but I mean, I kind of woke up like the more class the more time passed in class, the more excitable I got, but I'm still I still sound tired overall. But anyway, 3 hours. What? You have been chatting for 3 hours? Respect. What? Poggers! I haven't done that in a while. Pork. I'm going to I've been using that word so much that I think it's lost all of its charm. Pog champ. We enjoy that. Thanks, really. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I know some people have been wanting to ask any, like, not just grammar-related questions, but really any questions. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I just have something for that purpose. Pog will never go out of fashion, right? Girl, that dress is so Pog. Totes Pog. It is gold. It is Pog. Pog will never go out of fashion like David Beckham. Fair enough. Oh, hi, Madara. I mean, Sasuke. I mean, Itachi. I mean, anyone else I haven't mentioned. But hi, Uchiha. Porg. But it's nice to see you. I have not seen you in a while. But yeah, I should probably talk about what's going to happen after this class. I think next week I'm going to take a break from classes, and then after that I will start doing beginner classes. Classes for beginners, where again we'll talk about simple things like how to express how you're feeling, how to count, like some basic vocabulary words, stuff like that. You know, A1 level stuff. Because I've done enough advanced content. I need to give my beginner students and intermediate students some love. Some attention. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. No, I'm kidding. But anyway. But yeah. What happened to Alan? That is a good question. I really don't know. Normally he'd be having a class in, 30 minutes? 28 minutes to be more exact. But he has not been around lately. I don't know what's happened to him. I really don't know. Maybe he just had to take a long break. And this isn't the first time he's done this, but the last time he took a break, it wasn't that long. So I don't know. I don't know. He just really hasn't been very active. And like before, like when he was active, no joke, the calendar would look full. But now it's kind of empty without him. The class schedule, I mean. I hope he comes back. He was a really good teacher. Baby, come back to me. In my heart, I still believe. No, I'm kidding. But that was back when Disney Channel was good, and now it's crap. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, Alan was quite a prominent figure in this server. There wasn't a single student who didn't know about him. Not one. At least I don't think there was one. Most people knew him. Yeah, I hope he'll return soon as well. Who was Alan? He was one of the teachers on this server. I even worked with him. I even worked with him a bit. Like, I would be in his classroom, like, answering questions that people had, helping to, moderate things. And, yeah. Although, it was really Demonade who helped him the most. Like, she was basically his assistant at one point. And now, but that was before she became a teacher. And although, like, even after she became a teacher, she still helped him out a bit. But, as well as a few other people. But, yeah, she was basically his right-hand woman. And she has her own classes now, but yeah, Alan's just not around anymore. I hope he comes back, though. It would be sad if he never came back. But hopefully he's just taking... He has been doing quite a bit of teaching, though, so I think he does deserve a break, but I'm surprised he hasn't come back by now. I just hope nothing's wrong. Maybe he explained it somewhere, but honestly, I if he did, I didn't see it. Alan got a dog and they lived happily ever after. Disney version. Like, I can imagine like a film, an animated film with Alan as the star. And then the supporting cast would be like Demonade, Demonade, Trax, me, Maggie, Emma. It's like, right? It's like, imagine that. I wonder how I'd look if I were animated in a Disney film. Want to know the DC version? DC version? Oh, Disney Channel version, you mean? I think. I'm afraid to know now. Like, I bet it's going to be filled with a bunch of obnoxious laugh tracks and writing that's so corny that it makes Full House jealous. Although Full House's writing was good, just cheesy at times, but still very good. So it's not fair to compare that mess to Full House. Oh no, DC comic version. Oops. My bad. Didn't mean to shade Disney Channel. Actually, I did. But anyway, the DC comic version. Oh, what would Alan's superpower be? Like, someone mentioned that he was a motivational speaker. I mean, he acted like one, I'm like, you're not wrong. He basically was one. Imagine your theme song. He turned into a drunk version of Batman. That's not helpful. No, I'm kidding. A drunk version of Batman. Oh no. Oh no. So what would the Joker be? Who would the Joker be? I wonder who the Joker would be. You? Right? I was thinking the same thing. I'd have to paint my face white, though, because I'm black. But anyway. Would that be whiteface? Who knows? Anyway. But Black Joker, first time for everything, right? I mean, we eventually got a Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales, so why not? Or maybe there was one before. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. I don't know why, but I know there's a lot of them. So who knows? Maybe there was a black Spider-Man before Miles Morales. I really don't know. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I'm a fan, but I don't really know that much about him. I remember watching this one series. I think it was the 1994 animated series. You know, with the theme song that goes, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. That was my jam. I love that show. I haven't seen the trailer for a new Spider-Man movie. I haven't even seen Into the Spider-Verse, actually. I've heard about it, but I have not seen it. I should read Marvel comics more because they seem to have interesting characters. But the whole, the whole multiple universes thing is kind of off-putting. I'm just like, yeah, you guys really don't need this many versions of these characters. You don't. It's so good! Things finally done right. Pork! Oh, pork! But anyway... Oh, did someone want to speak? Mo! You shall be the last one I talk to before the class ends. You may speak. If you dare. Oh, there you are.
No, teacher. Am I audible?
Huh?
Wait. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Teacher, did you notice if the native people, when you are speaking with him intimately, like not formal speech or just an intimate, friendly conversation, do they tend to use embellish their speaking? Did they use polite or outdated words, or they just use common words?
I'm sorry. It was kind of hard to hear you. Like your audio is kind of choppy there. Can you say it again?
Yes, I think my internet is very bad because I use a Wi-Fi now. My internet server.
Oh, okay.
Let me send it in the chat. Okay.
You tend to use polished rare words rather than common words. I use really, like, a lot of people, like, bro, pretty much everyone. It's really common words that you're going to hear the most often because, well, they're common, of course. Occasionally you'll hear some rarer words, but like, I'd say probably 90% of our... I'd say like 90% of our vocabulary is just common words, or 95% I'd say, and then the other 5% is just uncommon words. It really depends on the person as well. Some people have some people have fancier vocabulary than others, so but yeah, like I'd say. I'd say like 95% of the time, the words you hear will be pretty much common everyday words. No problem. You don't pick the words pick you, basically. Yeah, it's like, unless you're trying to sound all fancy and smart, which you should not do, really, your vocabulary just comes out of your mouth naturally. It's just, if you have it in there, you use it. If you don't, you don't. or you'll just find times where to use like less common words that can still make sense in that context. So it's really not something. I mean, you can always improve your vocabulary, but it's just something that it's really just something that has to be natural. It really shouldn't be forced, because that's just not how people speak. If you want to build your vocabulary, yeah, watch movies, read books. Those two are really going to help. And don't try to sound fancier than you are. Just don't. Especially when writing. Like, if you try to use really big words when writing and you don't use them in a way that makes sense and doesn't sound forced, people will catch on to that and they will not be happy with whatever you've written. They'll just be like, wow, this sounds really weird. So, but that's beside the point. But yeah, like, really, most of the language that people use it's just common everyday words. And they normally don't choose what words to use. Well, I mean, they kind of do, but it's in a way that's just pretty natural and spontaneous. They're not really, people usually don't try to try to use particular vocabulary. It's just something that has to come out naturally. Even if it's uncommon, it still has to come out, like, naturally. Become normal. Become fancy. Realize people hate you. Become normal. Basically, that's what happens that's what will happen if you try to sound fancy. It just doesn't work. Just don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to build your vocabulary, that's fine, but do it in a way that's natural and not forced. Now, with me, I've been told that I have quite the vocabulary, so I just sound that way. It's just something that sounds natural to me. I don't try to sound that way. I just sound that way. So some people can have fancier vocabulary than others, but not in a way that's, pompous or superficial or like annoying. No. Oh, you have to leave? Okay, bye. See you later, Alexiu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I might just call you Alex, if that's all right. But yeah, don't use really big words. You might try to sound and at least in an unnatural way. You might think you're sounding smart, but you'll sound smart, but everyone will be like, no, stop, just stop. No problem, Mo. Some of you have interesting usernames. But anyway. But yeah. Keep your vocabulary natural. You can expand it, but keep it natural. You don't want to sound pompous or condescending or anything like that. Just be yourself. Yes. And don't just be yourself as well. Be the best you that you can be. So basically, just try to be the best person you can be and don't change for others. Change for yourself if you must. If you have to change for yourself, not for others. So, yeah. Yeah, basically, just don't try to be something you're not. Be happy with who you are. Be happy with what you have. Wow, I'm kind of sounding like Alan now. But anyway, that was fun. Yeah, I'll try to get more sleep next time before I have a class. But I'm glad you all had fun. Vicious cycle of life turns into Alan. But yeah, like, with being, the only, how do I explain this? It's not just it's not just my being tired that was the reason why I didn't sound too happy today. It's also because, like, again, like with the whole, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but my gaming channel has kind of been struggling a bit because, again, when I stream, almost no one watches, so sad face. And plus, like, my computer is so crap that it's hard for me to stream properly with it because for some reason, like, I'm just, and this hasn't happened before, but I'm just lagging all over the place. Not even just while streaming, but while just recording as well, so ouch. Oh, the link, my YouTube channels is, the name of it is the same as, for my gaming channel, it's the same as my username on Discord. So just look up ChiMeroller15 and you'll see my YouTube channel. Oh, you lost your confidence? Aw. Oh, it feels like you lost your confidence anyway. Yeah, it might be because you've been spending a bit too long from the voice chat channels. I mean, it's okay to take breaks here and there, but if you take a break that's too long, you might lose some of your ability that you've already built up. So, which would probably explain the confidence issues. So if you're gonna take breaks, try to not go overboard with them because with language, if you don't use it, you might lose it. Well, you got another submate. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I really need a new PC because no joke, I'm still having high CPU usage even after closing down all the programs that I don't need to use. And I don't know why that is. Seriously, it's at 99%. What the hell is going on? I need a new computer. But anyway, I guess that'll be it for this class. It was fun talking with you guys. This class actually did make me feel a bit better. Yeah, it does. It does take a load on your CPU, but it's weird because I've never had I had never had issues with this. But then yesterday, I started having video issues. The audio was fine, but the video was just chugging, and I'm just what's going on? But I don't know. Hopefully I'll figure it out. I just don't know what's going on, though. But anyway, I will go ahead and let you all go. Hopefully you enjoyed this class. Again, I won't have any classes next week or even the rest of this week. But the week after that, I will start having more classes geared towards beginners. I already had one, but it was long ago, so I'm just gonna where you just introduce yourself and talk about yourself a bit. And there was a bit of reading practice at the end too, but next time we're just gonna focus on I'm basically gonna teach you the English that you'll need to communicate with people. I'll teach you plenty of basic phrases and vocabulary, so that way you can just start speaking in no time. But anyway, I hope you all had fun. Thank you so much for being here, and you're all welcome for the class. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to go and eat something, and then I'm gonna stream. I'm actually gonna stream something later today, Just Dance 3. For those of you who know who are familiar with the Just Dance series, I'm going to be doing Just Dance 3 later tonight. The downloadable content for it, the DLC. So, at least I'll try to. I don't know, though, because, again, I had streaming issues last night with Black Ops 2 from the Call of Duty series. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight. I'd have to play around with my settings, but which I've been doing, but nothing's working. So, but anyway, see you all later, and I will go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll upload it later tonight. Don't worry. Oh, and I should probably mention, I think someone already posted a link to my YouTube channel earlier. I don't really feel like digging out the link on my computer, so just look up English with Mr. C and you will find it. Oh, well, there you go. Someone posted it. Thank you. Again, I think you were the same one who did it, so thank you, BD. Okay. I shall stop recording now.